I'll take a songbooks, turn to page 226, Joy Unspeakable, page 226. Glad you're here tonight. Page 226. Or did you lock that back door? Well, I locked that one. Did you lock the one back there? Okay. Good. I have found his grace is all complete. He supplieth every need. While I sit and learn at Jesus' feet, I am free, yes, free indeed. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory, full of glory. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory. All the half has never yet been told. I have found the pleasure I once craved. It is joy and peace within. What a wondrous blessing, I am saved from the awful gulf of sin. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory, full of glory. Joy unspeakable and full of glory, oh, the half has never yet been told. I have found that hope so bright and clear, living in the realm of grace. Oh, the Savior's presence is so near, I can see his smiling face. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory, full of glory. Joy unspeakable and full of glory, oh, the half has never yet been told. I have found the joy no tongue can tell, how its waves of glory roll. It is like a great o'erflowing well springing up within my soul. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory, full of glory. Joy unspeakable and full of glory, oh, the half has never yet been told. You have a seat. Go to the Lord in prayer. Does anybody have a spoken prayer request? Bro, a lot of people going the same thing. You had a good day. Should have okay this morning. Once you better this morning. Medicated. Anybody else with prayer requests? Sheila? But he's got to go back to work tomorrow. Very seldom mentioned on the radio. Seldom brought up. 200 some people died in this. Plus, his numbers gone up. 200 some people died today in Sri Lanka. Terrorist attack. Churches in or something. There's I guess the Tammy's got kind of a ministry going down there at the nursing Dunbar Center nursing home because there's another lady who lost her house. Her and her kids are staying at the Covenant House, and it, right, and they think, well, she's right, and she's a nurse or a CNA working in the nursing home, and they're living at the Covenant House. They said they have nothing, they have no place. So we have no. We're blessed. Look around the room. Everybody in this room was blessed. We don't. A lot of times we take stuff for granted. I try not to. People look back and say the good old days back then, or look back on something. I like to enjoy what we have right now and say, man, this has been good. This has been good. This has been good. Even though that was good too. This is tremendous. My brother House called it premature nostalgia that you look at today and say, what a great day, and rather than looking back at it and say, wasn't it better then or whatever. Always in it every day. Whereas people struggles. Church families going through struggle. Church families within our church going through struggles that we don't mention, don't know about, or some don't know about. Bruce and Patty, what they're going through, is physically prayers. Okay. Glad for the visitors that were here this morning. Some have been here before. Some are glad they were here. Pray for salvation. Some of them we're not sure about the salvation. The family's not sure about prayers. Anybody else have family members you want to see saved and back in church? Okay. We have unspoken requests. You want to... Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to be in your house, Lord. Your love and your mercy and your goodness. Thank you for the services we had already this morning, and last service, the morning service, and the Lord's Supper, and the blessings that you've given us. Help us not take all the rich blessings in life that you've given us. Help us not take it. Realize we're pray your blessing our service tonight. Honor and glory to you here tonight when the lost will saved. Church, Lord, I pray you'll meet the preaching of your word. I pray you'll use your word to touch our own hearts. Every one of us needs a message to apply it to our heart, to our life, and realize what's around us. I pray for our church family, for all the requests that were made that were out and those lost. I pray you'll use it, their church family. Let's sing another song, but I really want to get right to the message because I'm excited about the message. But let's sing another song before we get page 180. Bring them in. Okay, sing this a couple times in this past month, but some of you don't know it. So page 180. Go ahead and get your song books if you don't know it. Learn it. Okay. Hark, 'tis a shepherd's voice I hear, out in the desert dark and drear, calling the sheep who've gone astray, far from the shepherd's fold away. Bring them in, bring them in, bring them in from the fields of sin. Bring them in, bring them in, bring the wandering ones to Jesus. Who go and help this shepherd kind, help him the wandering ones to find. Who'll bring the lost ones to the fold, where they'll be sheltered from the cold. Bring them in, bring them in, bring them in from the fields of sin. Bring them in, bring them in, bring the wandering ones to Jesus. You think, well, John, this sounds like a kid's song. This is not like the tune sound like a kid's song. Yeah, and you know what? You could sing "Pigs Don't Live in Houses," or what's one you'll sing someone in the junior church? Wiggle worm. We could, but John, there's a need. It's called need songs. Okay, we need to learn these things. How to go reach others. Okay, last verse. Out in the desert, hear their cry. Out on the mountains, wild and high. Hark, 'tis the Master speaks to thee. Go find my sheep where'er they be. Bring them in, bring them in, bring them in from the fields of sin. Bring them in, bring them in, bring the wandering ones to Jesus. Sunday nights for a couple of months, and 2 weeks ago I thought we were done with Ruth, and then we did something else last week on Palm Sunday. But I want to go back to Ruth. This is probably our last message from Ruth for now. Ruth chapter 4. Ruth chapter 4. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Boaz and Ruth being married, and they're going to have a son, but in the process of them being married and going to have a son, going to have children, the blessing was, in verse 12 says, and that thy house be like the house of Pharez, Tamar bare unto Judah. Well, 2 weeks ago we talked about the idea of Pharaoh's coming from an unstable situation, or it's a nice way to put it, or a family background that's kind of odd, and saying that God can use him in a mighty way. We're rejoicing when how our families raises, the blessing God's given us. But we looked at 2 weeks ago. We looked at Pharez, in the lineage going down to Boaz, and everyone looking back and saying, "We want you to be blessed like Pharez was." And you think, man, he had an awkward childhood. Everybody knew who he was growing up in the situation that he came from, but he was blessed. I want to look at something else in the same story tonight. Ruth has married Boaz, and we know the story of Naomi going down to a different land and losing her husband and coming back with a daughter-in-law, and her daughter-in-law getting married to Boaz. We went through all this in the last few weeks. Look at Ruth chapter 4, and we'll just read a couple of verses. We look at verse 14. And the woman said to Naomi, this is when they know that Ruth's going to have a baby. And the woman said to Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, which has not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and nourisher of thine old age. For thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him. And Naomi took the child, laid it in her bosom, and became a nurse to it. I want to talk to you about just a simple thing in these verses. The name Boaz, the name Obed, which is Ruth and Boaz have a son, their first son, and his name is Obed. It means worship. The whole word means worship. That's what the Hebrew word means. It means he's not to worship the child, but to worship God, and that's why they're worshiping God as the fact that they get to have this child. Okay, so the child is born, and they take this baby, and instead of now Ruth and Boaz are going to raise the baby, but Boaz has purchased Ruth's inheritance and Naomi in the inheritance. So really, the mother-in-law is going to live with Boaz and Ruth. Okay, and she's probably going to be part of their household unless they keep the Amish call it a doty house. They may keep her a doty house off to the side somewhere. But the truth is, Naomi is going to live with Charlie boy, sit still. Okay, sit still and look at me. Okay, very much. Naomi's going to stay with them. Okay, so they take this newborn baby, and it is Ruth's baby, but they lay this baby over Naomi's arms. Okay, and the ladies, the elderly ladies of their church family, their family, say he's going to be a restorer of life. Okay, that's the words that they use. Okay. She lost everything. She lost her husband. She lost her 2 sons. She came back home with his daughter-in-law. Her daughter-in-law is now married Boaz, which is probably her husband's cousin. We don't know exactly how the relationship goes. But the woman said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, which has not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name be famous in Israel, and he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher in thine old age. They take this baby, they lay it in her arms, and they say, this child's going to be a restorer of life to you. Okay? He's going to give you back your hopes, dreams, your joy of life. Because you had this little baby. Okay? Now, when Josiah, his parents moved back to our house, he does his mom and dad.
when Jared, Rebecca, and Josiah moved back home, my sister came in to visit one day. She said, "There's life in the house again because Josiah is in our house." And for us, it was just like, okay, we'll work, we'll church, we're there, cut the grass when we're home, whatever. The grill once a week, whatever. I mean, but like our life was not the same without having Josiah. Vicky, would your life be the same without the grandkids? Just be you and John, and okay, let's go to work. Yeah. But there's something different. I'm not just talking about grandchildren, okay? And it's just the idea of there are some people that can be a restorer of life to other people. Not salvation. Salvation comes through Christ. It's a gift from God. You don't even ever trust Christ as your Savior. How can this baby, how can this child restore life to them? She's sitting there. And when she got back to Bethlehem, lived, for being on her journey for several years, she said, "I went out full and I came back empty." Okay, you're empty. Boom, you're not empty. Okay, she's got something. She had a daughter-in-law, which her friend said. The other ladies at church family said, "Your daughter-in-law is better than having 7 sons. One of us has 7 sons, and she's better than having one of 7 of us, 7 of them boys." Okay, and having her is one of the greatest blessings you're ever going to have in your life. But the truth is, Obed, worship God, is a blessing, restorer of your life. Thought about that. It's in the Happy Grandparents Day. It's not a Happy Grandparents Day, forget Mom and Dad Day. It's just the idea somebody else can restore your life. The idea that someone can enter your life be restored again because you're missing something. Okay? Not just the greatest person that can come into your life is Christ. I mean, if you're lost, your life is empty. If there's anyone here and you're lost and you don't know Christ as your Savior, your life is empty. And for most lost people I know, there's a misery index that people go through. You just kind of scale it to different degrees. And all they need is Christ to restore their life. And He is actually the restorer. Different terms, the restorer of the breach, different things. He is a restorer of life. We are dead in trespasses and sin until Christ comes in and restores our life. Our spirit becomes alive when the Holy Spirit moves in and we have communication with God, and our spirit is alive and it's different than anything else we could have ever experienced in life without Christ, because we're alive on the inside where we were dead on the inside. And to me, that's the greatest blessing. That's what Easter's all about. That's what everything we do is all about. But in addition to Christ, there are people that God can put in your life that restore life to you. You think, but John, me. There are people that you can be around that drain the energy from you. Okay? There's a bank that I sell to, and I go in this building. There's about 100 people working in this bank building, and I walked in one day. I said I had a delivery ticket, and the people in the mail room in the back. I said, "This goes to," and I said the name. I said, "Is that the?" Is that the little short girl that is it? And the boy worked in the mailroom. He's not there any longer. He's a deputy. He said, "The one who sucks all the joy out of the room when she walks in the room." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "The one that never smiles. That's the one. Of the 100 people in this room, you can make everyone laugh except that one. Okay? You'll never see her smile. She sucks the joy out of the room every time she walks in the room." Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody knows. Okay, everybody knows what I'm talking about when he says that. I'm not going to say that around anybody in that building, but he can say that. Okay, because he works there, and he said, "Yeah, that's the one." Okay, there's other people that when they walk in the room, restore life. Okay, whether it's the office, church, or your family. There's people who've had family. We've had family members when they come to the house. You kind of, what's the one that the best term for it is? Love to see him come, love to see him go. Okay? And it's not very nice. But the truth is, you don't know what you're going to get when they walk in the door. Right? You don't know if you're with the person that sucks all the joy out of the room, or the person been inebriated or whatever the situation is. You don't know what you're going to get when they come to the door. Okay? If everybody has an effect on you that way, we could put up a hedge around it so that I'm not going to let that person bring me down, and that's a good way to look at life. That I'm not going to let sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm blue. My disposition depends on you. That's not true. Okay, my disposition should be what it is, whether you're good to me or bad to me. Whether you treat me well, don't treat me well. That's what That's what Tam and I were taught. Sometimes it's hard to go along with that, but you try to live that way. But the truth is that there are people that have an effect on us as a restorer of life. When they come, you think, okay, it's going to be whatever situation it is. There are people that you're in your family. If you're a child, when you're in your childhood, I don't know. When Charlie talks about Sheila, as he's a kid growing up, probably Sheila was around. He felt fine. No matter what's going on, it's okay, right? No matter if somebody's sick or there's a problem, talk to mom. It's going to be okay. Where's mom? Call mom. Okay. I've got a cousin that got family members I love dearly. I've got a cousin that was the first time Tammy and I watched Taken. I said, "You know that guy, don't you?" I've seen the movie. Most of you seen that movie, Taken. I said, "You know that guy, don't you?" Tammy said, "Who?" And I named my cousin. She said, "Yeah, that's him." His brother was at our house last summer, and he said we sat on the front steps. He said, "Brother, who's the pastor, said no matter what situation we would ever get into anywhere in the world, I'd feel safe." If this guy was beside me. And I thought, with the message tonight, the brother who said, I would feel safe no matter what situation we're in if he was standing beside me, armed or unarmed, to be okay. When this brother walks in the room, he gives that off of, everything's okay. What can we do? This brother is the one that defends everybody. This brother is the one who walks in the room. We'll see him in about a month. This is one who always loves everybody. He's a preacher. Loves everybody. If you're having a bad day, he tries to make it a good day. Okay? If you're hungry, let's go to the best restaurant in town. Okay? We want to eat the house. Oh, come on, let's go. Okay? We'd love to eat your house, but let's go. He was surprised at how good the bamboo garden was, a little place on, right, Tammy? He's like, man, it's the best Chinese food. It's always the best. It's always, and everything's always good. And of the two, one of them would defend everybody in the world and has, and the other one says, come on, let's go. You're okay. Get up, okay? And he has been a restorer of life to other people for 40 years, longer than that, but as a pastor, he retired recently last year. 40 years of pastoring. Okay, if that's true, and people have that effect on other people, what effect do we have? We walk in the room. Are we the restorer of life on our job site? Are we the restorer of life in our family? Are we? And John, I don't have that life of the party personality. Okay. The life of the party is often the class clown that doesn't do much, right? You remember those people that are life of the party when you're in high school or whatever. You look at them in life, you go, oh, what happened to that guy? Okay? Charlie testified about those guys last week. His friends. Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, it's all fun. What? Okay. Be the person who brings life, restores life to others. I can't be that. Brother John, that's not my personality. Yeah, it's not about personality. You know what that baby has to do when it's laid in Naomi's lap to restore her life? You know what he has to do? Nothing. He doesn't have to do anything. Okay? He's going to eat, sleep, cry, repeat, get changed, whatever. But really, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to be there. Right? He's just going to be there to be the restorer of life to her. Okay. We can look at other people's life and say that person joy. There's someone has a banner on their office, and when some people bring joy to this office, some when they enter, some when they leave. Okay, I've seen these, and all these businesses I go to all the time. Everyone's got these funny things on the wall. How do you do that, Brother John? How do you be the restorer? How can you be the person that brings not the life of the party, but brings the life to other people? Okay, how can you be that positive person? Look, I try to whistle everywhere I go when I'm working. Okay, and I've had people tell me, "What, share that joy with everybody?" What do you think I'm trying to do? Yeah. In the office where the one person sucks all the oxygen, all the joy out of the room, I walked in there whistling. Okay, and people ask me, "Why are you so joyful?" Let me tell you why. Okay, yeah. How can I be that way? How can I have that kind of joy? How can you have that kind of joy? How can you restore people's life? Paul was writing to Timothy. Turn to 1 Timothy, if you will. Paul was writing to Timothy. Just be real quick. 1 Timothy chapter 4. We're going to look at a couple verses. Well, maybe just one verse, maybe two. 1 Timothy chapter 4. Paul, as an older preacher, is writing to Timothy, a younger preacher. And Timothy is supposed to be the restorer of life to all these people. Paul went out and started the churches for the most part. Timothy went with him on some, but now Timothy's a young pastor, and Paul's writing to him. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Paul writes to Timothy and says, "Let no man despise thy youth," verse 12. "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers, in word, in conversation, in charity, spirit, faith, and purity. Till I come, give attendance to reading, exhortation, and doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee." Stop reading right there. "Let no man despise thy youth, but an example of the believers in word." That's the things that you say should be an example to other people. Okay? In your conversation, that's more than just the words, that's your lifestyle that you have. Should be an example to others. And Paul's saying, if you'll do this, you'll be the restorer, because I'll get to that in a minute. A word and conversation and charity, that's what you give away. If you don't go down there in faith, of what you expect, and in purity, that's how the purity of your heart. But it says in spirit. Okay? That's what radiates from you. Charlie Moss may not be the most exciting teacher at Sissville Middle School. Huh? But you know he can be? Do you know he can be? Some people love history, and some people are like, okay. But he can be a person that's always lift you, encourage you, and do this. I know you can't hardly read at 8th grade, but the truth is, you can learn this. Okay? Tracy going to look for mussels in the water, or rolling down cliffs, or whatever it is that she does for a living. She's a biologist. Somewhere along the line, the people that you work with be restored. It's our job. So you work with a lot of seniors, right? A lot of them have had a great life. And all those people lived through the Depression, World War II, some of them probably World War One. You think, okay, they need restored. They need somebody to lift them. Mark with your customers or your co-workers, whoever it is. They need somebody that says, okay. Or sometimes it's just being there is all it is. But sometimes it's a pat on the back saying you're doing a great job. Okay? Or kick in the pants saying you're doing a great job. Depends on who it is. And just an encouragement that says, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. I love to hear Tammy talk to the nurses down there, or the CNAs down at the nursing home. I mean, some of them are just worthless as, and you fill in the blank. But others, she's doing a great job. She's one of the good ones. Okay? She'll tell the boss that she's one of that one there. She's one of the good ones. Okay? Will you name names for the ones that aren't the good ones? No, but I'll tell you that one's really good. Okay? Well, what about this one? I won't tell you, but I'll tell you that one's good. Okay? I'll tell you this one. Tracy's over here. She's tremendous. Okay, but I won't tell you. But what about, okay, I won't say anything bad, so I'll just say how good that one is over there. Okay? What is that doing? That's restoring. Okay? It's restoring life to other people. It's what radiates from you. Okay? Say, do this, you could do this. Vicky, you think, oh, how can I don't affect these people in this way. You affect them one way or another. pray with your kids and everybody else with the horses or veterinary thing, whatever it is. You have that effect on other people. The challenge is be that way all the time. Truth is, with Obed, all he had to do was be there. Okay, that's all he had to do, just to show up, be there. Okay. Now, if you're a worker, you're not supposed to be one of the we've known past and just show up. They go get the check. Just right, Vicky. You know them guys. Don't name them publicly. Okay. But they just know you're. I'm a state worker. If they just show up, they'll pay me. Okay. Okay. Restore of life. Okay. I think about this. There's people that I know. Now, when they walk in the room, they restore everybody. Right. Think about Clarence. Right. Most of you were here when he remodeled the building for us, and they worked out there and pouring the rain down. They got trash bags over them so they can put the siding up, and just say keep working, keep 16 hours a day, and let's sing and yodel as we go. Okay, and he called me a couple weeks ago. Okay, we got a letter saying that he's getting out of this ministry of traveling around working on church building. He's not going to be traveling as he's been doing. He's taking the church. Okay, church where his wife grew up. A town of about 400 people. Okay, there's about 25 people in this church. On the day that he called me, he said 6 weeks ago up there it's 50 below zero. 6 weeks ago, so that's like the end of February. It's 50 below zero. Northern part of Canada, it's 6 hours north from where they are now. 6 hours away from where they are now. When he said where he grew up, they had wolves around. Where she grew up, the wolves would come and eat their sled dogs. Okay, if you leave them outside at nighttime, it's that bad. But that's where he's going. Okay, what's he going there for? To build a building, to make houses really nice. He said people up there don't build houses to make them look really nice. They build them to survive. Okay, so he made our place look really nice, right? And I had the rooms and the back here in the back and all the work they did. We rejoice in all he did. He's not going up there to make things nice. He's going up there to restore church family. Going out the pastor for they need help. He's going up there to restore. And you think 50 below zero. Who else going? He talked about all the kids going with him. Okay. Sure, you want them all to go? What about Mac? Can we bring Mac here and he can work for Denny, right? We take him, right? Mark, he worked for anybody, your customers. We'd love to have him. We'd like to take him to church, let him sing. He's quiet. He doesn't talk much, but he can sing like the rest of them. Okay? He's going there as a restorer of life. The church is a big church. There's only like 400 people in the town. Okay? Down to about 25 people. They need help. Okay? Yeah, he called me as a prayer request, and we talked about some other things. Pray that's what we're doing. Yeah, this is where we're going. Direction we're going. Let me ask you then. Obed didn't have to do anything to restore life to Naomi. He was there. What do you got to do? Who do you be help? All you got to do is sometimes just be. Smith died back. Randy came to me. I don't know if I've ever had help Randy. Thanks for all. You can be a restorer if you want to. Suck all the joy out of it. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for loving us. Thank you for the life that you've given us, the joy that's in our heart. And we understand that everyone goes through trials. We go through them too. We understand everyone has problems. You got them too. We understand life is just life. And there's nothing normal about life. It just happens. But we also understand that you put us out there to be a light in the world, poke holes in the darkness. Pray you'll help us be a witness to those around us, neighbors, our family, co-workers, business partners, whoever it is, our students at school, the other teachers at school, parents. Help us be a light. Be a light in our family. Help us to restore. Use us to restore life. The lost will get saved. Christians will find. Thank you for loving us and truth forgiveness in your word. Bless each one here. Bless those that couldn't come out tonight. Bless our families that are traveling. I'll stand and sing. Page 313. What a friend we have in Jesus. 313. What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Have we trials and temptation? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. And we find a friend so faithful, who will all our sorrows share. Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Are we weak and heavy laden, encumbered with a load of care? Precious Savior, still our refuge. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Do thy friends despise, forsake thee? Take it to the Lord in prayer. In his arms he'll take and shield thee. Thou wilt find a solace there. All right, thanks for coming out tonight. Mark, you dismiss. Okay, great. Thanks for coming out tonight.